long as you in, as long as you in that little V shape right there.
Yeah. Ready.
Ready?
What's going on out there, everybody? Hope everybody's staying empowered and staying motivated, man. I had a distinct honor of sitting with the pastor himself, Governor of Georgia, Pastor.
What's up, brother? You already know. I love it. How you feeling?
Good, man. I'm glad to be able to talk to you, man. It's the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
When you've been making music, man.
Yeah.
I've been listening to your music for as long as I can remember.
That's right.
Some questions I want to ask you, man.
It's all good. I'm looking forward to it.
So, man, you know, I want to start, man, because you got to start at the beginning of these stories, man. I know that, you know, you've spoken about it, that, you know, your father, he's still here, of course, in spirit, and he's still here to guide you, man.
Yeah.
But I want to know, you know, you got the name from him. Could you kind of tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up in his household and what you managed to get from growing up being under him?
For sure, man. You know, with my dad being a pastor, man, my upbringing was so beautiful because he wasn't a pastor all his life. You feel me, man? So I really had a chance to experience the regular side, and then I experienced him as the pastor, which was so dope, man. One thing about him, man, he was a real person. You know what I mean? Having the chance to observe him and watch him speak in the pulpit and still represent everything he said at home. He was serious about this, man. And even with building up the church, man, being able to see him take his dream and fulfill it to a 30-year ministry, it just gave me a lot of motivation and encouragement about pursuing the music industry how I did, helping me build mine, man. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate everything you did for me.
Man, already. And I was going to ask you, man, you know, you listen to your music, it's always tones of religion and God.
Yeah.
Songs like When He Comes.
Yeah.
You know, how important has God been in your career?
Man, you know what? The first song I made going to a professional studio was No More Playing GA. If that ain't God,
right?
You know what I mean,
Man.
I made it. You know, a lot of guys can't say that, man. That their first song was the one that did it. You feel me, man? So that was a blessing in itself, man. I always wanted to. It's so crazy, man. Even down to the name Pastor Troy. One of my friends called me Pastor Troy while I was rapping in college, and I asked him, man, why you call me that? He was like, man, it sounds like you a Southern preacher when you be rapping. I said, man, that's a tight name. I gotta ask my daddy, can I use it? Yeah. So it ended up being real dope, man. You know what I mean? Like I say, I ain't choose the name chose me.
Respect. Man, I don't even know if I've heard that story about how you got your name.
Yeah, man, that's real.
Now, let me ask you, bro, you know, we knew you grew up on the south side in College Park. You know, what do you remember about life in College Park before now, with the gentrification?
Man, you know what, man? The College Park that I grew up in was a successful, middle-class, black area. You know what I mean, man? I was just telling somebody the other day, man, playing baseball at Old National. We used to have 8, 9 teams per age group. You feel me, man? That's how we had 8, 9, 10 people per age group. Now, they can barely put a team together per age group. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, it's just confusing time. You know what I mean, man? Gentrification, all that stuff, do a lot to it, but we still got to get back into the parks, the rink, and stuff like that, man. So, those friendships, even just playing sports, period, help you out a lot when it comes down to this game. You know what I mean? Just showing you how to
be a team
how to work how to work together, man. You know what I mean? It's just so many things that I apply from baseball. That was my sport of choice, man. I gotta think of my pitch every day. You know what I mean?
You ain't never thought about sponsoring a baseball team, Troy?
Man, I'm always down. I do a lot of sponsoring, man, with the little boys and stuff around the city, from football to. I ain't got me a baseball team though. I gotta find a baseball team, but a lot of the football teams do their thing. You're a baseball team out there and you're doing your thing, man. Reach out to Pastor Troy. We got some sponsorship dollars for you.
Hey, Troy, I gotta ask you, man. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit, man. You know, recently we've been seeing the more civic side of you, man. Like you've been speaking out against gun violence and things in the community. How does that feel now that you as an OG talking about that?
Man, 25 years in this game, man, with some people paying attention and respecting what I say, that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean, man? That come with the territory. You know what I mean? What am I supposed to say 25 years later? Still be talking the same stuff? You ain't growing, you're dying. You feel me, man? I'm growing. And I want everybody else to grow too.
Respect. Man, you taking that stand, sitting with the people up front, man, politicians about it.
Yeah.
That ain't something you see the OGs do. So
Man,
it's
dog,
much
man,
appreciated.
it's so dope. But what's so dope is that they respect the influence of an artist like myself. They know my impact around the city, man. So a lot of those things, man, they invite me to. It's so crazy, man. I just saw Andre Dickens the other day at the SWAC Championship. As soon as I walk in and say, "What's up, Andre?" he asked me, "Where the belt at?"
Oh, man, you can't be walking around without it.
That's tight, man. So when it resonates like that, man, I say, man, I think we did this thing
You
right.
did it right, bro.
Okay.
Somebody at the gate had a heavyweight.
Oh man, there's a million belts in that damn stadium, man. Everybody carries belts at the game.
Hey, man, you started something, man.
That's tight, man. That's tight.
Troy, let me ask you this, man. You know, when you was in high school, you talked about the impact of
Yeah.
baseball and MJG, bro.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, man, you really known as the major Atlanta gangster rapper.
Yeah.
When you were coming up, it was a couple. It was like Hard Boys,
Yeah.
Ghetto Mafia, a couple on like, did they have an influence at all on your
You know
sound?
what? Everybody did in some kind of way, but when I decided to turn it up, I really turned everybody else off. You know what I mean, man? It's hard to listen to a whole bunch of music when you're trying to create music because it's almost inevitable to take something from it. You know what I mean, man? So I really kind of just turned everybody off, man, just give them their respect. But we rocked out, man. You know what I mean, man? Them were some pivotal years for me, man. 8-Ball MJG, I remember listening to them in my earphones upstairs in my room with my headsets on. Well, not with the headsets on, bumping it. Till my daddy started hitting the broom up on it. Now we gotta put the headphones on, you know what I mean? But for us to be on tour together, sharing dressing rooms by their choice,
Man,
you know what I mean,
that's
man? We shared dressing room with Troy. He in our room with us. Just to have that kind of friendship. Last night I was hanging out with Trick Daddy. Me and them, man, I'm talking about just to have that kind of respect from people that I revere. It's just a beautiful thing.
Man, it definitely is. And I gotta ask you, man, you know, when you think about 8-Ball and MJG, we think about their storytelling.
Yeah.
That's something I'm gonna ask you about. But
Yeah.
what kind of stories, what songs by them kind of influenced how you wrote the story?
I love Mr. Big.
Man, that's
Mr.
a
Big was crazy. You know what I mean, man? It was crazy. It was the first time that I really felt like I saw a song. You feel me, man? I saw that shit from, and that was just something to channel, man. That was just always something for me to say, I want to do that. And I think I did a good job when I came with that Ain't No Sunshine.
Man, ain't no sunshine above the law. I'm gonna ask you about all that.
All good, all good.
I gotta ask you, Troy, what made you choose Payne College, man, of all schools?
Man, you know what? I had went to the Art Institute of Atlanta. I was doing computer animation. I had a baseball scholarship offer from Payne, but I chose the Art Institute over it. Man, while I was at Art Institute, probably at midterm, motherfucker stole my car with my portfolio.
Man, that's what you're talking about. So that was when you was in the Art Institute.
Yeah, that was at Art Institute, man. So when they stole my portfolio, man, I remember going to tell the teacher, like, telling the professor, like, they stole my car last night. I don't have my midterm assignment. Charlie was like, I hate that for you, but this college, this ain't. I hate it for you. And that shit just, that was the beginning of the disappointment and fury that you heard when I finally dropped, man. You know what I mean? I was just so frustrated with the situation, man. Payne College, so I went on, took the baseball scholarship, went there, and I really wasn't impressed with
Facilities.
but yeah, man, baseball at HBCU, man, it wasn't what I expected. My high school team was better. You know what I mean, man? So I was like, this ain't it either. You know what I mean? And from there, man, I took that pen. Here we are. Bro, man, in the studio was the first place I raised my voice. I ain't never had to raise my voice about nothing. You know what I mean? For what? You know what I mean? But to go in there, man, and scream about this stuff that I have been experiencing, going through, man, it was such a relief. And I think it resonated with some other people too.
So many generations, bro. Generations too, and past.
For real.
Man, I gotta ask you, you know, we all went to Fort Valley, and our partners from the AUG used to tell us about the hoods in the AUG and how it go down up there. Like, man, how did the Augusta scene in general shape your early sound?
You know what, man? So being at the college, I had hooked up with a lot of dudes that were locals in the city. And when we started hanging out, man, they started taking me around Augusta to the different parts and stuff like that. So here in Atlanta, I was from College Park. College Park really ain't the west side of downtown Atlanta, you know what I mean? But in Augusta, what Payne College was and what those guys introduced me to was downtown Augusta. It was the city, you know what I mean, man? So to be acclimated with that and see it go down, I knew it, but I hadn't really experienced it. So to get my feet wet and see it firsthand, I knew I was gonna make some music and get the hell off around this
Yeah,
motherfucker.
man, you had to, man. You had to.
For sure.
Man, Troy, I was reading the Augusta Chronicle article. Man, I gotta mention Above the Law.
Yeah.
Above the Law, first off, man.